Okay, ladies and gents, welcome back to part 8 of the Mr. Vintage radio control aeroplane build. If you've been following the series up to yet, you'll know that I've been concentrating on building the wing, which is now 99% complete, as you can see. The two halves have been joined since the last video, and the centre section has now been sheeted, so all that's finished off, and the wing is really strong and starting to take shape, as you can see. Tonight I've actually glued the wingtips on to the wings at both ends, and I've also glued these triangular supporting strips to give these wingtips some strength. I've glued those on tonight as well. I roughed these front leading edge blocks out off the wing just to make it easier for myself, and I used the razor plane for that. Then getting it close with a permagrit sanding block, and then finishing it off with a normal sanding block with sandpaper on, just to get the radius nice and smooth. So the wing is 99% complete now. All that needs to be done is this box section to be built on top of the wing, which is shown on this photograph here. If you can see that, you can see the box section there where the pilot sits. That's got to be made next. I'll actually do that by putting the wings onto the fuselage, bolting them down so they're in the final fixed position, and then making the side pieces so they all blend in with the fuselage. So that should be quite a simple job really. So that will be next. In today's video, I really like to show you how we go about hinging the control surfaces, for your ailerons, your rudder and your elevator. So here's the elevator and the tailplane. What you do first is to lie it down onto a flat surface and bring the two parts together so you can see actually how they're going to go. Obviously this is going to be hinged like so. Then I get the actual hinge. I'm using the cavern hinges there, just the small plastic ones, and I put them on the actual woodwork and see exactly where they're going to go. Obviously try and keep them equally spaced for strength reasons. Once I've done that, I put masking tape on the top of the wood and actually scribe either side of the hinge, so I know exactly where they're going to go. The only consideration when doing that is where the control horns are going to go. These are the horns that I'm going to be using, only small plastic ones from Perkins, and they will go onto the top of the elevator like so. Now this model is a pull-pull system with wires, so I'm going to have a control horn on both sides of the elevator and also on the underside, so your wires connect top and bottom and you get the pull to lift it up, and then at the bottom when it pulls it'll pull it back down again. I'm sure you're all familiar with that. So once I've marked the position of the hinge, I then scribe that position down. I don't know if you can see this on the camera. I scribe the position down like so. Now the name of the game when doing hinging is to get the slot bang on the centre line of this piece of wood, because obviously if you get one out of position then that control surface will either be high or low, where you want them perfectly level with each other. So to help me do that, I use this little bit of kit that I've had over 40 years. It's a little hinging jig, as you can see. The slot in it there, the slot in it there is the same width as the hinge that I'm going to put in. As you can see, it all pivots like so. So when you put it on to the edge that you're going to put the hinge in, you just rotate it like so, and that automatically, I'll bring that a bit closer, that will automatically put the slot on the centre line of your piece of wood that you're going to put the hinge into. So it gives you a really good guide straight away. To do this, I'll just try and demonstrate on how I do it. I use the jig, I'll just get that in position to my scribe lines, which are there. Then I'll just put that there. Then I use this fork tool that digs out the slot and sort of squares the sides of the slot all the way through. I use the picking out tool there to pick out the middle, and I also use my normal X-Acto blade just to rough the slot out, especially when the wood is a bit thicker and a bit tougher than balsa wood. So now the jig is aligned, make sure it hasn't moved, like so. I use my X-Acto, just pop that in, and this just really eases the way for the V tool that I'm going to use. So that's just ease the way. I get the V tool, put it in the slot, and then just gently rock it backwards and forwards like so. This just eases the tool into the wood without splintering and bursting the wood either side. So just go through, you can see now I'm coming through the bottom. Obviously this is quite thin and I'll have to cut the hinge down so it doesn't show through the back. But once I'm through like so, then I use the picking out tool and pick out the centre, which will just be like a few little splinters of wood. There you go, there's one. Just flick that out like so, and you can also get right into the corners with the picking out tool like so. Now if I remove the jig, there you go, really simple. That hinge line is now bang on the centre. You can try your hinging, and there you go. As you can see, like I said before, you can see the hinge protruding through the back. I will then cut that off level so obviously you don't see it. Then once it's all covered and we put the hinges in for good, I'll drop them in, we obviously glue them in position, and then I'll also put a pin through the back straight the way through just to secure that in so it won't pull out. So that's it really. It's really simple operation, nothing to be frightened of if you've ever done it before. So that's it. I'll now continue to do the rest and also the rudder and the ailerons. Hopefully I'll have that all done for when you come back next time. If you've enjoyed the video up to yet, or if you've got any questions, please pop your questions below. We can all have a chat and discuss. You might have a better way of doing it, in which case you can tell me your method. And like I say, if you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and come back for further updates. So that's it. Thank you very much.